Well. This is Rob Brown with Rob Report on the Go. How you doing today? I'm out and about, and I get this email. Look it. I was just talking about that on about 2 hours ago, talking about the plan for Elizabeth Warren, why Elizabeth Warren will not quit till after Tuesday. She will be used by the DNC to siphon some of Bernie Sanders' votes because a lot of her people are Bernie Sanders' second choice. Now, look, when have we started ranked choice voting? I mean, we rank choice voting, but we're not ranked choice voting. When have we started implementing the opportunity to say, hey, if you don't vote for this person, who will be your second choice? When have we started doing that? I mean, if you're going to start this, let's do this. Let's make ranked choice voting a thing. Stop asking who's going to be your second candidate, if this person drop out the race, or if this person. Stop asking that. It's none of your business who I'm choosing to vote for. And it's none of your business whether I vote or not. But to do this ranked choice voting thing is throwing me off. All right, so they assume that if Elizabeth Warren drop out the race, Bernie Sanders will get her votes. Not necessarily. A lot of the Hillary Clinton people tried their best to push Warren because she was getting more momentum than Amy Klobuchar, and they wanted a woman in the White House, so they pushed that hard. So a lot of Hillary Clinton female supporters, the Neera Tanden, the Robbie Mook, yeah, he's a female. Let me stop. People like Karen Finney and all those numbnuts, Hillary Clinton cultists, they was pushing Warren. They was pushing Kamala Harris one time, but now they pushing Warren. All right, so Warren is trying her best to gain a certain amount of delegates, and she's going to hold on to those delegates. So as long as she can get money coming, she's not going to drop out the race. She don't have to campaign to stay in the race. She can go home and don't campaign at all and still be in the race and hold on to those delegates as bargaining chips. She's trying to do whatever she can to CB, as I said before I was cut off on the last video. A CBer. You know what a CBer is? A CBer is that person, you're in the club, you're chilling, you're on the, you're on the you feeling nice, and you're on the speaker, and then all of a sudden this girl not too far from you keep looking at you, eyeballing you, and she feeling nice, and you go up there and say you want to dance. So you dance, and you trying to put it on her, she trying to put it on you. So y'all having all right, let's put it on each other on the dance floor. And everybody telling y'all need to get a freaking room. So y'all saying, well, seemed like a good idea to me. She's saying this, shocking him. And he's ready to go now. Talking about slut voting. So here come her friend come across the doggone dance floor. Ain't no way. You are not taking my friend home. You ain't getting none tonight. Not if I gotta have it. Look, just because you ain't getting none and you haven't got none in a while, why you gotta mess it up for everybody else? Why don't you get your butt home? Go home. And that's what Elizabeth's doing, is staying in the race. So the news is Amy Klobuchar is down for the count. So first we had Tom Steyer, who actually placed third in South Carolina. Third. Then we got Pete Booty. Pete Booty they call him. Pete Booty they call him. Came out strong. Still lost to Bernie Sanders, but he did pretty strong the first two races. He suspended his campaign. I believe these are, and now here we got Amy Klobuchar. So Amy Klobuchar ending her campaign bid while will endorse Biden. See, all of this is a strategy of the DNC and the Biden camp to maintain the lead. Now, I don't think it was a smart thing for her to drop out today. Tomorrow, yeah, should have just announced it. But what has happened is Bernie Sanders had the guts, galls, and balls to go in their state and campaign. And the DNC is upset, the media is upset. I'm like, fool, that's what you're supposed to do running for office. You campaign for every freaking state. That's the reason why Hillary Clinton lost behind lost, because she didn't campaign in every state. She sent everybody to go campaign for her. The reason, number one reason, Bernie Sanders lost South Carolina, because he sent surrogates down there for him. He didn't take the quality time to spend time with the conservative blacks there and listen to their needs and advocated for it, because that's who put Joe Biden over, the conservative blacks. And they see Joe Biden more of one of them than a lefty, than a socialist or democratic socialist, whatever whatever you call it. I call it a person who want to cater to all people, gay, straight, black, white, it don't matter. So here's the deal. I was believing that they'll probably advise them to stay in the race so Biden don't take a plunge, don't get beat so bad in the primaries. Now, what they're trying to do now, see that, I mean, that would alleviate the beatdown that he's going to take Tuesday, because he's going to get slaughtered. It's going to be Bloody Tuesday for Biden. He'll probably pick up, I estimate, 4 or 5 states. I could be wrong, but 4 or 5 states, and most of them southern states. Now, they know Bernie Sanders is polling well in Massachusetts and Minnesota. Biden is trying to get a play-in for Minnesota. Now, what's going to happen is, because Liz Warren is cock-blocking all the way to the Tuesday, hoping to hit that 15% threshold in California, hoping that she can get a 15% threshold in Massachusetts, that she can gain a lot of delegates and hold them hostage over Bernie Sanders and play deal maker for a VP position. Ignorant, smart, but ignorant. How can it be smart and ignorant? Well, it's smart intelligently, but in the current state that she's in, it's not a good thing to do. It's just not right now. I mean, she should have waited to, to me, she should drop out and let Bernie, because Bernie is predicted to win those 2 states pretty decent, pretty big. But she's not going to do that, because they all are anti-Bernie. So here's the deal. Amy Klobuchar, as you see. Minnesota Amy Klobuchar ended her Democratic presidential campaign on Monday and planned to endorse rival Joe Biden in the efforts to unify moderate voters behind the former vice president White House bid. So what I believe is going to happen is she's going to announce her endorsement, if she haven't already, I'm nowhere near TV, for Joe Biden, thinking that that's going to give Joe Biden that bump that he got in South Carolina with Uncle Ruckus. James Clyburn. Will that bump be enough to give Joe Biden the edge where he can get the 15% because she's dropping out of Minnesota? So they're hoping that will help Biden at least get half the delegates, if not most. Well, currently she was second in Minnesota ahead of Biden. Bernie Sanders was beating her in her own state. Bernie Sanders is predicted to do a landslide in Minnesota, because even Minnesotans right now are sick and tired of Amy Klobuchar. But they actually think her dropping out will give Joe Biden a boost to at least take some of the delegates away from Bernie. So this is all a strategic plot from Tom Perez, the DNC, maybe Barack Obama. Say she's flying into Dallas and plans to join Biden at his rally Monday night, according to her campaign. Well, Joe Biden thinks he's going to win Texas. Joe Biden, you're not going to win Texas. Yes, there's a lot of black votes in Texas. And you're going to go to Houston, Fifth Ward, and all that kind of, thinking the black support is going to carry you over. But in a state like that, when it's a huge population of Latinos, you got to cater to both of those. Now, I know some of you people ain't going to like me saying this, but this is true. If you're going to win that state, You got to offer something to get those people to go out and vote for. And Biden offers not a god doggone thing, but we need to defeat this guy. We need to defeat this guy. And, me and Barack Obama and I, we need to defeat this guy. We need to defeat this guy, Barack Obama and I. That's his new song. Well, Amy Klobuchar going down there is not going to help him in Texas. It's not. And talking to the people in Texas about her support for Joe Biden is not going to help Texas. What she should have did was went back to Minnesota and gave her support to Joe Biden there in Minnesota, hoping to help Minnesotans support Joe Biden, but it's not going to happen. So let's keep reading this. Klobuchar was the second presidential candidate to exit the race in less than 24 hours following Pete Buttigieg, they call him, departure last Sunday. The decision reflected urgent push among moderates to consolidate behind Biden as a counter to the progressive rival Bernie Sanders. Again, DNC strategy to stop Bernie Sanders. Amy is in that, but she claimed, I like Bernie. But Amy is trying to stop him. Elizabeth Warren's supposed to be his best friend, his ace coon boom. His sister in the progressive movement. She's trying to stab him in the back. She's going along with DNC strategy to stop Bernie. Their decision reflected urgent push. Now, look, Klobuchar outlasted several better known and better funded Democrats thanks to better than expected third place finish in New Hampshire, but she couldn't turn that into a success elsewhere. And she struggled to build out a campaign that could compete across the country and had poor showings in the next contest. The three-term senator had one of the cycle's most memorable campaign launches, standing outside in the Minnesota snowstorm. That's the big deal, right? I call that crazy. I would rather did it on a webcam. Last February, to tout her grit and Midwestern sensibility, Klobuchar argued that a record of getting things done in Washington and winning even in Republican parts of her states would help her win traditionally Democratic heartland states like Wisconsin, Michigan that flipped in 2016 to give Donald Trump the presidency. Now that right there is another fabrication. She had nobody else to run against her. The Republican candidate in those states was horrible. This was an easy win for her, just like Hillary Clinton running in Westchester County. There's nobody to compete with Hillary Clinton in Westchester County. These are easy wins. So to tout that you beat these people in the red state regions of your state is, you can tout that, but you really had no competition. So it's easy. And to say that you can win red states, let me tell you something. No moderate, no conservative Democrat, no right-wing leaning Democrat is going to win the red states, because most of the voters in red states could care less about parties. All they care about is what you want to do for them. Yes, even Republicans are voters. I'm not talking about them numbnuts in Washington, D.C. I'm talking about voters. They care about things like getting a better education, making it more affordable, making it even tuition free. That's a plus for them to come out. They care about, some of them are steeped in bills. Some of them got parents sick as a dog and they got to mortgage the house because they can't pay for the medical bills. These are serious issues. So they're not thinking about this party crap. Most people are thinking about, what are you going to do? Don't tell me about, I was friends with this person and me and Obama, or I served in the military and all that kind of stuff, and Republican, I'm a Republican. Nobody cares about that. Real people don't really care about that. Real people who really stick to the issues and really believe, I'm going to vote for you to work for me, not for the corporate interests, they are going to hold your feet to the fire. They don't care about none of that. They want to know what you're going to do. Your constituents put you in office for you to shape up the area that you represent. Not to shape up Washington, D.C., but to shape up the area you represent. So this stuff about being able to win Republican parts of the country and stuff like that. Get out of here. What can you tell me? What plank? What platform in your candidacy that would cause a Republican to come over and vote for you? Don't you understand? Those people are locked strong. You realize that other numbnut in the Republican Party and leading the Republican Party, when he is in his election cycle, he has two people running against him, and they getting blown away. He's winning in huge margin. His base is strong, lock solid. You're not winning them people. So your best bet is to go out and get non-voters. Your best bet is to go out and try to win those independents. Your best bet is to secure your base that you got right now, Latinos and blacks. You do whatever you can to secure those base. Don't just assume just because I work with this person or I serve with this person, they're going to love me and support me. You can't. You got to go beyond that. You got to give them something to come out and vote for you for. And if you don't have anything to offer, then you can't expect these people to vote. And one of the reasons, and I'll tell you all day, and like I said, one of the reasons why Bernie Sanders got his butt whipped in South Carolina isn't just because of, well, Clyburn has something to do with that, because those people love him over there. But this is the guy said, you'll never get reparations and forget about talking about the black agenda. And most of those are conservative blacks. But the reason Bernie Sanders could not cut that support, now he had 34% of the black vote. That's saying something. That's huge for a socialist, a Democratic socialist, to get 34% of the vote in conservative South Carolina. So that's nothing to sleep on, because he didn't have that against, he barely got votes when Clinton was running against him. So he had huge strides, but they're going to make it seem like, oh, it was a blowout. No, this guy got some huge strides. Don't sleep on that. Where he failed is he sent all these surrogates out there to campaign for him instead of him going there himself, spending time with the black community in South Carolina, listening to them, find out their needs, take it to heart, and advocate for their needs. That's how you're going to win those people over. Now let me get back to Klobuchar. She was hoping to own the moderate lane of the Democratic field that grew to some 2,000 candidates, but that got much tougher when Biden joined the race in April, starting as a front runner and remaining there. Klobuchar also quickly overshadowed by Buttigieg, a fellow Midwesterner who shot from being the largely unknown mayor of South Bend, Indiana, to top contender on a mix of intelligence, strong oratorial, and youthful optimism. Buttigieg dropped out on Sunday, saying he has no longer had a viable path to the nomination. He has not endorsed anybody yet. Well, let me predict this. He ain't endorsing Bernie Sanders. He's going to endorse Joe Biden, too. Nobody's going to go with this Michael Bloomberg crap. He can throw all the money around. He can buy all the politicians he wants. At the end of the day, you can't buy every voter. So the race is going to be a two-man race between Biden and Bernie Sanders. So let's get used to this. Right now, all this stuff is political strategy from the DNC and Joe Biden to move Sanders out of the way, because they don't want this guy to be the next nominee, because this guy has the ability to beat Trump, has the ability to win, get non-voters to come out and vote for him, has the ability to get independents, and have the ability to even move over Republicans, and they can't have that. They'll rather lose to Trump than have this guy win. Their number one option is, let's get this guy out of office first. We can deal with Trump another 4 years, but we can't deal with this guy. Besides, he's not even a Democrat. That's what they say. The man been caucusing with the Democrats for umpteen years. He he's an independent because there's a Democrat already. Let me keep going. Klobuchar asked Kavanaugh. Klobuchar entered the race with a low name recognition compared with many of the rivals, a disadvantage she was still citing a year into her campaign. Outside Minnesota, the lawyer and former prosecutor who's best known for her questioning of Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh during 2018 Senate Judiciary Committee hearing. You know how a lot of these parties try to figure out who is the next hot thing, who is the next person that we can push for presidents. So know what they do? They look at how do you handle people on committees. How do you handle people in trials and cases? That's how Kamala Harris got denied, because she was going after Jeff Sessions. Man, a fraud can go after Jeff Sessions. Jeff Sessions is a coward. But she looked president. She probably can be the next president. No. Prosecutors don't make good presidents. I never met a prosecutor that made a president. Nobody wants to vote for a prosecutor for president. That's another reason why Amy Klobuchar is dropping out the race. Nobody wants a prosecutor to run this country. We got a game show TV. Let me be quiet. All right, guys, I'm not going to go through this freaking story. This story alone. You go through the story. You know my opinion on this. All right, the only reason Amy Klobuchar was in the race, the only reason most of these people were in the race is to stop this guy. That's the only reason why they run it. They had no urge like Barack Obama had. He had the urge to become president. He just couldn't sit there and see John McCain get that easy win, and he knew, based on some of the actions of Hillary Clinton or voting record, that he had to at least make a play to try to change America. Try. I don't think he tried hard enough, but try. So all these guys was in here to stop Bernie. Now we came to the last 5. Amy Klobuchar, she's in Texas. She's stepping down. She has no viable path. And, I think the only reason she hung in there is to keep Bernie from getting the 15% so she could take some of his delegates. But I think what the DNC decided to do was scrap that plan. That was a better plan. If you want to stop Bernie, if you really want to do, she should have stayed a butt in the race, hoping that in her state she can get at least 15% of the vote where she can get some of those delegates. But no, you dummies. You're going to tell her to suspend the campaign and endorse Joe Biden in Dallas, Texas, thinking that's going to get him 15%. No, that's going to give Bernie Sanders an easy freaking win in Minnesota. It's going to give him an easy freaking win in Massachusetts. And here you got Elizabeth Warren. The only reason she's going to stay in this race is because she's trying to get the 15%, not just in her state so she can get some of those delegates, but also the 15% in California, because a lot of people in California do like her. They prefer her as their second choice. Democrats in California do not prefer Joe Biden. They prefer Bernie Sanders first, and then they prefer Elizabeth Warren second. She knows that, so she's going to stay in the race, hoping she can get at least 15% in those 2 states so she can gain delegates, and she's going to hold those delegates hostage to the end until the freaking convention. So, guys, if you understand this is how it is in politics, this is politicking 101. Joe Biden, the DNC is trying to muscle their way in to get people to quit, because they believe if the endorsement of him is going to cause him to ride off that South Carolina high. But most of the United States are not Southern conservatives, because that's the type of person that votes mainly for Joe Biden. Conservative Democrats. Extreme left Democrats, those who believe in people pushing, people moving policies, taking the tax dollars and making people pay their fair share to cater toward their community with their tax dollars, those are not the people that vote for Biden. Those are the people who vote in the Green Party. Those are the people who would, you can't lock them. You don't own them. They don't owe you no vote. You got to come earn it. And in this election, I'm telling you now, you want to win, you better stop assuming you're going to get people votes by default, automatically. You should never go in a race thinking you're going to just get people votes. You got to earn it. And in this case, let me tell you the truth, and you can go look up in the polling. Joe Biden he put most of his effort in South Carolina, and he got a huge win. Congratulations. But he did no ground game in California and the rest of the states. How dumb is that? And that will affect him tomorrow. That's the same thing Hillary Clinton did in 2016, that she had everybody go to the states that Trump won. And they want to blame that on Russia. No, you didn't go out there and campaign in the Midwest. You didn't campaign in farm country. You didn't campaign. And you sent everybody else out to do the work for you. You're not going to win an election. You got to go down there and talk with those people, meet with those people. If you don't do it, you're going to lose. That's what happened to Bernie in South Carolina. He didn't do it, and Joe Biden beat him. Now, California, he's down there campaigning. He has a ground game. Same thing in Massachusetts. Same thing in Minnesota. He's campaigning. And he's visiting those states. Joe Biden got no ground game in most of these states. So I predict again, Joe Biden probably win 3 states at the most, 4 states tomorrow. It will not be a Super Tuesday. It'll be a bloody Tuesday, and it's going to hurt him real bad. But them dropping out may help him keep some delegates. They are known as CBers, blockers. We'll block, open up a hole, so you can run right through to the touchdown. That's what they're trying to do. Let's see if it'll work tomorrow. I'll let you later. Peace.